Guess who's back? Back again. Mikey's back.
Tell a friend.
Hey everybody, here with another video for you guys today. And today we're going to be doing a Lego pirate ship tier ranking list.
It's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful. Before I go any further, let me just say, if you like this video, any of the videos on the channel, please
like, comment, and subscribe.
And before I get down into it, let me just preface it by saying that the ships included in this are ones that are officially from Lego pirate themes, sub themes, Pirates of the Caribbean. We are excluding anything that is not from pirates in its blood. So there'll be no Lord of the Rings pirate ship Ambush, no Destiny's Bounty from Ninjago, no Harry Potter ships, because I wanted to keep it more focused on the actual pirates theme. And we'll be getting into it after my intro coming in
now.
Lego pirate ship tier making list.
Ooh.
So this is a topic that has always been pretty near and dear to my heart.
Nah.
And honestly, that's funny that today, going over Lego pirate ships ranking, the last time I did this, because I looked it up, it was the first time that I ever said, guess who's back again.
No way.
Was the first Lego pirate ship ranking video that I did way back many moons ago.
Like 2016, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's been your catchphrase for a long time.
For a long time. Let's start. We're starting with the Armada Flagship, everyone. And it is 270 pieces, released in 1996. And this is the only green coat entry on the list, or the Spanish. It's kind of what they went for with the Imperial or the Armada Flagship. And I have a knockoff enlightened version of this ship. It's not a bad little ship. So but it's not definitely I'm gonna put Armada in C tier for now. I mean, I like that it's white. The guy has the white hull, it has a little bit of a different color scheme, but again, I might move things before we're all said and done, but for now, I'm putting it in the C category. And then next up, we're going with Brickbeard's Bounty. 555 pieces, released in 2009. And while you can see straight from the picture, it comes with the cool shark. That definitely adds to the overall appeal of the set. But for the sake of this video, just like with the castle one, I'm not going to include, we're not talking minifigures or animals or anything like that. I'm strictly talking about the build of the ship. And I do have this one. And Lego has done quite a few ships over the years with this same general color scheme, the white and red sails, kind of alternate versions of the original Black Seas Barracuda, if you will. And this one is one of the better ones. This one could potentially challenge, I mean, I can't go full on S tier, but definitely A tier. If the only real downside is the way the sails are attached. When we talk about the Brick Bounty, that's one advantage the Brick Bounty has over Brickbeard's Bounty is the way the sails are attached. And then
what's wrong with the way the sails are attached?
They used like the rods, the long like poles, and they just put
cones on the end.
Cones on the end.
Now I
hold
remember
them
it.
on.
Okay.
Where on the Brick Bounty, it's far better designed on the actual sails and the mast. But besides that, pretty much everything else is better on this ship than on the Brick Bounty. The only other thing would maybe be the masthead. It has the mermaid and it spins around. It's kind of a cool little feature, yeah. But I mean, it's really not that important of a deal. It was trying to add in a play feature that's maybe really not necessary. And
yeah, I don't really know what the point of that was, other than maybe a play feature. They have to have a certain amount of play features on them, maybe.
But having said that, Brickbeard's Bounty is definitely a very nice Lego pirate ship to get, and I am putting it in A tier.
A tier it is.
A tier it is. And next up, we got Captain Redbeard's pirate ship. And this was set as 132 pieces, and it was released in 2004. And even though we're, not talking minifigures and stuff, this set doesn't even really come with minifigures. It's a juniorized set. It's absolutely a juniorized set build. Even the figures that were released with it were juniorized. And this ship, if you're a Lego pirate ship collector, the only reason, in my opinion, to get this ship is if you have to have them all.
A completionist.
Like this is the bottom of the barrel one, without a doubt. And
I mean, it is to us, but it could be top tier to somebody else, It's not like it's a horrible set, but it's just not, it doesn't have minifigures. It has different figures. We didn't grow up with that, so it wasn't special to us.
It's going to be the last one on
I'm just trying
list.
to be.
She's trying to be nice to for, but it's bottom.
You don't have to be so harsh. Bottom tier, man.
It is.
Bottom of the barrel. Nobody should buy it.
That thing is ugly. It's not worth your time.
That thing's ugly. There's better ships out there, I swear.
Yeah, we're going to talk about them all. And then next up, we got the one that started it all, the Black Seas Barracuda. And it is 845 pieces, released in 1989. And it also goes by the Dark Shark in other parts of the world. And
it's so cool. It has 2 names.
This ship, I mean, not only was it the first Lego pirate ship, but the design of it is still one of the better designed Lego pirate ships to date. It is a super fun build, and it's just when you think of a Lego pirate ship, if this is the one that comes to mind, you are not wrong. Mm-hmm. Not whatsoever. But having said that, I can't give it an S tier. And the reason why is because the ships that are actually S tier are better.
So A then it is.
So it is going into A, but it's going to be the number 1 in A.
Yeah,
I don't foresee anyone surpassing it in A. Next up, we got Pirate Ship Battle. Pirate Ship Battle, 677 pieces, released in 2001. And this ship, Lego came out with the Eye Schooner in 1993. And this was, after that ship was released, Lego got away from the red and white sail configuration and went with the black and white, like the Eye Schooner. And they just rode that throughout the rest of the 90s and into the early 2000s. And while all of the ships from that era, I'm not going to say they're bad ships. They're not top tier Lego ships, in my opinion. And this one is probably one of the worst ones of the bunch there. And
yeah, the sails look funny.
Yeah,
it just looks. If they're gonna have them so tall, then they should have had 4.
It's part of the 2 play features about it, I believe. I've never owned this one. I've never even really seen it in person. It's one of the few ones I really don't have a lot of experience with it. But I've built enough Lego pirate ships to just be able to look at the build and know what kind of a ship it is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, pirate ship ambush.
Where's that going? Ooh.
I'm going to put it in C for now, but it might go down to D.
Really?
Yeah. Well, let me see what other ones are there.
See what else you got.
Yeah. Now, next up, we have Pirates of Barracuda Bay. And it was 2,498 pieces and released in 2020. But, of course, that includes the actual island. So I don't know the exact number of piece count for just building the ship itself.
Yeah.
But this I've gone on record before, and I'll do it again. This is the best Lego pirate ship to date. And it's not the only S tier ship on the list, no. But it is.
That's a nice ship.
It's the best one that Lego has ever done. And I stand by that. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some aspects of others that maybe are superior to this one in certain ways, but all things considered, not only is this, if you like Lego pirate ships, is this a must-own ship, but that set itself, the Pirates of Barracuda Bay set, is the best Lego pirate ships or pirate set ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, just in one single set, everything about that is just awesome. And honestly, keeping it inside of the island, you are doing this ship a disservice.
Yes,
in my opinion,
yes.
Because it is that nice of a ship. Unless you have 2 of them,
right? Which we used.
We do have 2 of them, but we used the Creator 3-in-1 to fill
for
out
the island.
Yeah.
Because the ship is just gorgeous. And the island is fun. And I like how they did it. So
yeah.
I'm glad we came up with that.
Pirates of Barracuda Bay is S tier.
Yes. For sure.
And next up, we have my white whale, the Skull Eye Schooner. 878 pieces, released in 1993. And this ship actually had the record for being the biggest Lego pirate ship ever made until the Imperial Flagship came out in, 2010. So for the longest time, from 1993 until 2010, it had the record of the largest Lego pirate ship ever made. And I do not own this ship now, but I had it in my youth. This was my Lego pirate ship of my childhood. I know it extremely well, and there's not much to dislike about this ship, in all honesty. And I would actually, for myself, I would say I think that this is a better Lego pirate ship than even the Black Seas Barracuda. It's got so much going on, and it's bigger than the Barracuda, but the Barracuda is more iconic. And so I have to give that advantage to the Barracuda. But like I said, this is my white whale, like not just pirate ship, but Lego set in general. And the only reason I don't own it is because for how much it costs, I could honestly bricklink a Lego pirate ship that's better than this one. So it's
I don't
really
know. Bricklink has gotten expensive.
yeah, but
But yeah, I
I
understand.
mean, I could upgrade the Black Pearl and turn it into a supersized, like, awesome version of the Black Pearl, and it would end up being cheaper than buying this.
The original.
Yeah, than this ship here. But obviously, the Skull Eye Schooner is an A tier ship, and the only one it's not going in front of is going to be the Black Seas Barracuda. It is not going to move from that location.
You declare.
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard.
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard.
And next up, we got the Renegade Runner. Are you on my list? There you are. 163 pieces, also released in 1993. And this is definitely a smaller Lego pirate ship. You know, they liked mixing it up and having bigger and smaller ones available. And some of the smaller ones that they produced over the years, we tend to look back on them now, sometimes with rose-colored glasses, I'm afraid, whether it's the Caribbean Clipper or the original Imperial Flagship or the Renegade Runner. We loved them at the time, but I think nostalgia has clouded our view of how nice those ships really were. And I think the Renegade Runner also definitely suffers from that. And I'm saying it's a C tier ship. I think I might put it there.
Yeah.
For now. It doesn't blow me away. It doesn't overwhelm me. You know, it's just there. But it's not a bad little ship. Next up, we have the Brick Bounty. 711 pieces, released in 2015. And, you know, like I said earlier, the Brick Bounty and Brickbeard's Bounty, they are so similar, and so they're very comparable. And as I was talking about, the sales and mass on this one is really the superior aspect. I mean, you can just see how much cleaner it looks. And it's got the Technic design for the sail mast. And so it's just so much better design.
It's a tighter ship. It's
yeah,
sturdier.
And the crow's nest here, that is a really cool feature about this ship. But having said that, the color scheme on the other one is better, in my opinion. And it just is an overall better build and just prettier looking ship overall. But, you know, the Brick Bounty it tends to get overlooked a lot by people, but it's still a nice little pirate ship. Brick Bounty is going into the B category.
That's where I was going to put it. I was like, man, poor B. B has nothing. B needs something.
B, hey?
Or it'll be sad.
It'll be sad.
It'll be so sad.
And then next up, we got the Crossbone Clipper. 141 pieces, released in 1997. And now, the Crossbone Clipper, I'm sorry, this thing is ugly. It's small and it's ugly. And like I've said before on the channel, during the late 90s and early 2000s, this is when Lego almost went under. And when you see that they released this as an official release pirate ship, you understand why they were in. When people say Star Wars saved Lego, they're not wrong there. And when you see the stuff that they were putting out that was sitting on the shelves, you know, next to the Star Wars sets, it's like, come on now. So yeah, the Crossbone Clipper.
It's going to D.
It's going to D.
Down in the D.
Yeah, she's ugly.
The green is like an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And next up, we're jumping into Pirates of the Caribbean. And here we have the Black Pearl. Now, this ship is a very interesting one in the annals of Lego pirate ship history. And the reason why is because the Black Pearl, it's so iconic, not just in Lego, but in film history and everything. Like if nobody knows anything about pirates and you say, well, what's the name of a pirate ship? Just a random person in the street. They're probably going to say the Black Pearl. And so it's got that going for it. And the build itself, the overall like hull of the ship is kind of if I'm honest. It's very bare bones. You know what? I didn't do the thing. It was 779 pieces released in 2001. But what it does have going for it is the captain's quarters on the Black Pearl is
pristine.
I will say it's the best captain's quarters
I've ever seen.
Well, not as good as our S tier ships.
Oh, well, no.
But besides the ones that end up on S tier, it's better than the captain's quarters on every other ship that Lego has ever made. So it's got that going for it. It's got the name. It's got the look.
And it's got the name.
But having said that, the ship itself
is a little plain.
Is a B tier ship. The Black Pearl is in the B.
Oh my. Wow.
The ones in the A are better.
They are.
I'm sorry.
I agree. But it's the Black Pearl.
I know. Hey, that's what Lego did to us.
I
What
know.
can we do? And then next up, we got the Caribbean Clipper. It is 358 pieces released in 1989. And this came out in the first wave of Lego Pirates, along with the Black Seas Barracuda, or Dark Shark, for those in other territories of around the world. And I love the white and blue sails on this. It has a nice color scheme. It's very regal looking. But the way they have the rigging going in this ship, like you got to climb up in the middle of it instead of being on the sides, like every other ship on this list, essentially. I think that is a very interesting and, dare I say, poor design choice on Lego's part. And this ship is more on the smaller side. And as I said, that these smaller ones that they released, sometimes we look at through rose-colored glasses. And I think that the Caribbean Clipper suffers from that as well. I do not own this ship, and I probably never will unless I find it, amazing deal on it. Because what they're asking for, how much this costs for what you actually get, it's really not worth it unless you're just an absolute completionist.
You have to have it.
Yeah.
Or if it was your childhood.
Or if you have nostalgia for it.
Right.
Yeah, those are all valid reasons. But if you don't have a ton of nostalgia for it,
I'd skip it.
But it's not a terrible one, but I'm putting it in C. It might be the number one on our C, but it is going in C.
See you in the C.
See you in the C.
That's okay. It likes me.
Next up, we have the Redbeard Runner, and that is 676 pieces released in 1996. And like I said earlier, after the Eye Schooner came out and was a pretty massive and successful ship for Lego, they just went to town with that color scheme and just tried to recreate, basically resell all, modified versions of that ship over and over again. And the Redbeard Runner is definitely like that. But it's probably the best of the knockoff Eye Schooners, if you will. But it's it's definitely not one that I think you have to like run out and own. But I do see a lot of people, they pick it up and they always tend to be pretty happy with it. So, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have nostalgia for this ship. So well, I can't put it ahead of the Clipper. So I think it's going in C as well. Because it's not on the same level as the B tier ships, in my opinion. It's just not.
Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it. And next up we have the Creator 3-in-1, and it is 1,242 pieces, released in 2020. And this is the only Lego pirate ship you can still go and buy at this very moment. And I know a lot of people have this ship obviously right now because they can still go and buy it. But as somebody that's been collecting these things and building them since I was a child, this set and this ship is rather disappointing. So, I understand they went with the 3-in-1, so they have to use all the parts that they wanted to include, but the brick built sails on this thing are hideous looking, in my opinion. The rigging, I don't hate it, but it's not the traditional rigging we're used to. It looks incomplete, and it has a brick built hull where the rest of them are actually molded brick, molded pieces for the hull. And this one's all brick built, and so it looks ugly in comparison. And if you line it up next to the other ones, it sticks out like a sore thumb. It does have a pretty nice captain's quarters.
I was gonna say my only like of this set is the captain's quarters and the way that the captain's quarters is designed. It's like they started with the captain's quarters and then said, I don't want to finish it, so we're just going to throw this together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. It's like they designed the captain's quarters because they really put a lot of thought into it. I mean, the way the sides open, it's like they designed the captain's quarters and then they took a dump on the rest of it,
Yeah.
And the brick built sails, I really don't like those.
And I mean, and just right here in the front area of the hull, underneath the sails, the white sails, this thing here, that it's ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah.
It does not look good. Actually,
actually looks good where it's at now.
But I don't have that. Well,
it's right here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Because
it's in the shipwreck. We made it a shipwreck.
Yeah,
so
because we have two of these. Georgie has one that's in pieces that I need to rebuild someday, and then mine I use to replace the Pirates of Barracuda Bay ship, and so it's part of our Barracuda Bay now. Yes, Jen did it.
He said
I helped.
We. Well, just change it to we then.
We.
Just include me, please. I was part of that design. I think I thought of it.
Yeah.
Actually. Just give me credit where credit's due, man.
So the Creator 3-in-1 ship, I mean, it
depends on what you want to do with it. Now, if you want to use it for what we used it for, a shipwreck, I would say
it's a C. It's a C tier ship.
But the way it is, it's a D. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It should go in the D, in my opinion. The brick built sails just make it.
Well,
I would. Well, it's your list.
I'm going to leave it in C, but I'm going to put it at the bottom end of C. How about that?
I think I like it better than that one and that one.
You like the Creator one better?
Yeah, actually. Only because it suffers from the same thing.
It's not better than the Redbeard Runner.
I don't like the sails on any of those.
I know, but
They all belong in there then.
yeah. Well, that's where I put it originally, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Leave it there then.
It's the only one that's currently available for Lego.
But
it's better than nothing right now.
I don't know.
We got a pirate poly bag that you can gift with purchase. You can buy in the Creator 3-in-1. That's all we're working with pirate fans right now.
Wow. All right. Buy it and buy yourself some cloth sails then.
Yeah, Bricklinks and cloth sails.
Bricklinks some real sails for that thing. If you're going to keep it as a ship, because I mean, it's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty at all.
Next up, we have one that is very pretty.
Oh,
and that's the Queen Anne's Revenge.
She is the queen.
And 1,049 pieces released in 2011. And this ship could have threatened for S tier if Lego would have went just a little bit further with it. But as it sits now, I can't put it in S tier. Despite how it is a very, beautiful looking, regal looking ship. There are two flaws that I have with this ship. And the first one is the deck. Lego got away from doing an upper deck and lower deck on the hulls, and they literally just put everything on the bottom of the hull. And when they started doing that, I thought they kind of cheaped and chinsed their way out a little bit. And this ship suffers from that. And the captain's quarters on this ship is a broom closet. It is the worst captain's quarters probably out of all of them, or very close to that. Like, they literally gave you a broom closet for a captain's quarters. You can't.
The bed is so tiny, isn't it?
There is no bed. You can't even access it really. It's got that cool window on the back of it to make it look cool, and they put like skulls in it to try to make it look fancy. So when you look in it, it doesn't look terrible, but there's no door on it. And like I said, it's about the size of a broom closet.
They did all the work on the outside of it.
Yeah.
And
so the Queen Anne's, I am going A tier with it, but it's sticking right there. I think when all said and done, Brickbeard's Bounty is a better ship than even the Queen Anne's Revenge is. And next up, we have the original Imperial Flagship, 295 pieces released in 1992. And I had this ship when I was a child, so I have a lot of nostalgia for it. This and the Eye Schooner were my childhood pirate ships. And even though I did love this thing as a child, again, I can look back on it now through more of a honest perspective, honest lenses. And again, it's, I just gave the Queen Anne's Revenge crap for its captain's quarters, but this thing doesn't even have a captain's quarters really. So I can't even say the Queen Anne's has the worst captain's quarters because at least it has one.
At least it has some.
Yeah. This one it has nothing. Like, it's got a little space that you can put a minifigure down. I don't even think you can stand them up. You have to sit them down in it and say, okay, here's your little cubby hole that you can say is your captain's quarters, dude. But
you want to be captain of my ship? We don't got much of a quarter, but you be captain, man. I'll call you captain.
But I love the sails on it. They are cool sails.
Cool.
And it is a pretty looking ship, when you're just looking at it. But I'm putting it in the B, but I'm putting it second, only behind the Caribbean Clipper. I think the Caribbean Clipper is a little nicer looking, but they're both pretty interchangeable, honestly. So it's going up there for me. All right, now we got the Imperial Flagship, 1,619 pieces, released in 2010. And this here, my friends, is an amazing Lego ship that they created. And it's the captain's quarters. When we talk about captain's quarters, it's got one of the best ones you can ask for in it. The lower section of the hull is awesome. It has the upper and lower, like I said, 2 sections to the hull, which is very cool. It includes a kitchen. It includes a brig. Like this ship is awesome. And it is obviously going in S tier.
Obviously. I mean,
yes, it is going in S tier. And the big debate can always be the Pirates of Barracuda Bay versus the Imperial Flagship. And each one has their certain advantages and disadvantages over the other one. The modular design of the Imperial Flagship is really cool. It is. The Barracuda Bay ship, it doesn't have that, and that's the one thing that I do prefer over the Imperial Flagship is the modular design that they built it with. But having said that, when you sit them next to each other, the Barracuda Bay is the nicer looking ship. It's got the iconic Lego pirate ship look with the red and white sails. I mean, it's a remake of the Black Seas Barracuda. If you only could have one, I do think that the Barracuda Bay ship is better, but they are both obviously S tier ships.
Obviously.
You can't go wrong with either one. And here is the Silent Mary. 2,261 pieces, released in 2017. And the release of this ship will always be a landmark moment for us here at Mikey J Productions. I covered the release of this ship extensively, and it really helped blow up my channel, if I'm honest. And that will always have a special place in my heart for that reason. Now, I do have a couple of complaints about it, I will say. It doesn't have a hull whatsoever. I'm not saying that's necessarily a complaint because, I mean, it's a ghost ship, so, I mean, it's not necessary. But that's definitely a unique thing that took me, by surprise. And then the scale of it is a little bit off. It's not technically minifigure scale like the rest of the ships on this list are, but it's not full on micro figure scale either. It's somewhere in between the two of them, which is a little bit of an odd choice. And it has the appearance of having a captain's quarters, but I'm here to tell you that there's nothing there. There's no way to access it either. But it has the ability to rear up and eat other ships. It is a very impressive looking set when you're standing in front of it. And I like the sail design on the front of it with instead of having the triangle sail, it went with one like this, which is more of a tradition Spanish galleon look, honestly. Even though as a pirate ship fan, guru, whatever you want to call me, it's definitely one of the most unique, if not the most unique one on the list. The versatility that it possesses, I've seen people use it for under the sea mocks to it's a shipwreck. Mm-hmm. I've seen people mock it into a more of a traditional looking ship. I have a mock version of this ship as well. I have the original end one I created myself. So it definitely had a lot of potential and a lot of different uses that you could get out of it. And that's why, for me, anyways, I'm gonna put it in S tier as well. But it's bringing up the rear on the S tier, and I mean I really contemplated putting it in A tier because there are some issues I have with it. But like I said, the versatility of it, being able that people can do other things with it other than just have it be a traditional pirate ship. I think that adds to the appeal for that particular set. And it is the best Pirates of the Caribbean ship and set to date.
Yep.
Absolutely. Now let's see if we're going to make any changes. B looks a little bit lonely, if I'm honest.
B looks very lonely.
So I'm going to move the Caribbean Clipper and this Imperial Flagship up to B.
Move that one down to D.
That one?
Yeah.
You really don't like that one?
I don't like the sails on those. I'm not a big fan. I'm particular.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel pretty happy about this. I feel pretty good about this.
Good.
Ollendorf says, "Isn't the ghost ship is display only?" Yes and no. Now
it's pretty playable.
It is pretty playable because it can rear up.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a little on the fragile side. It is. But yeah. Infamous Convict says, if a piece falls off the Silent Mary, it's almost impossible to tell where it goes. That is a good point.
That is a good point.
Infamous Convict says, the Imperial Flagship is my white whale. Yeah, it's definitely a good one.
White whale.
And Ollendorf says, it's not a pirate ship, it's a Navy ship. I'm talking about probably the Caribbean Clipper, Imperial Flagship, I'm assuming.
Oh. And
then let's see. King says the modern Imperial Flagship is S tier. Yeah, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then he says Silent Mary is low S tier, high A tier. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if someone wanted to bump it down to A tier, I agree. But I still stand by what I said, that I think I would take the Silent Mary over the Black Seas Barracuda. If you were to pick one of those two. I do think that the Silent Mary is a little bit ahead of it. He says the OG Imperial Flagship is cool, B tier though, which it's funny you say that. This is because he had to go. But yes, that is where it ended up.
King had to go.
It ended up in B tier.
It did.
He said Queen Anne's Revenge is S tier.
Ooh, I told you.
No, the broom closet.
The broom closet brings it down.
Clipper is low B or high C. Yeah, that's where it ended up. Ollendorf says S plus tier. I love the black and darkness.
I love the black.
Talking about the Black Pearl. Yeah, I knew that the Black Pearl was going to cause a little bit of a surprise for everyone. That it's not higher up the list, but I gotta be honest. I've said, I've built the vast majority of these at one point or another. And that's where I put the Black Pearl.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, we got merch store. If you want to take a little piece of the show with you, you can get it right here. We got everything. You want some Mikey J stuff? We got the Mikey J Productions for you. So take a chance and stop by. We'll take care of you.